HOA banned my flagpole. Federal law overruled them. Judge fined HOA $20,000 for violation. Have you ever fought for something you believed in, only to be told it's against the rules? For retired Marine veteran Tom Randall, that fight was about a simple flagpole in his front yard, a symbol of his pride and service. In the quiet suburban neighborhood of Willow Creek, Texas, Tom's American flag became the center of a storm that exposed the overreach of a homeowners association, HOA, and ended with a courtroom victory that sent ripples through the community. Tom had served 25 years in the Marines, and the American flag was more than just fabric to him. It was a reminder of sacrifice, duty, and freedom. When he moved into Willow Creek, he erected a modest 20-foot flagpole in his front yard to fly Old Glory, ensuring it was well-maintained and lit at night in accordance with the U.S. Flag Code. The flagpole stood proudly for months, drawing quiet nods of respect from neighbors. But then came the letter from the Willow Creek HOA signed by its president, Karen Whitaker, a stickler for rules who seemed to wield her authority like a scepter. The letter demanded Tom remove the flagpole, citing a vague clause in the HOA's covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC and RS, about unsightly structures. Failure to comply would result in a $100 daily fine. Tom was stunned. He checked the CC and RS before installing the pole, and there was no explicit ban on flagpoles. More importantly, he knew about the Freedom to Display the American Flag Act of 2005, a federal law that prohibits HOAs from banning the display of the American flag, though they can regulate size and placement reasonably. Tom responded to the HOA politely citing the law and offering to discuss any concerns about the pole's placement. Karen's reply was curt. The board's decision is final. Remove the flagpole or face penalties. The fines began piling up, and soon, Tom was staring at a $3,000 bill for daring to fly his flag. What Karen and the HOA didn't expect was Tom's resolve. He wasn't just a veteran. He was a man who'd faced worse odds than a petty bureaucracy. He dug into research, uncovering Texas state laws that echoed the federal protections, allowing flagpoles up to 20 feet and flags up to 4.5 by 6 feet. The HOA's rules, he realized, were not only vague but potentially unenforceable. Tom reached out to a local attorney, Jessica Bloomberg, who specialized in HOA disputes. Jessica saw the case for what it was: a clear violation of federal and state law, compounded by the HOA's refusal to negotiate. Together, they decided to take the fight to court. The twist came when Tom discovered he wasn't alone. At a neighborhood barbecue, he met Maria Gonzalez, a soft-spoken single mother and paralegal who'd received a similar fine for flying a small Texas state flag in her backyard. Maria had kept quiet, intimidated by Karen's reputation for targeting dissenters, but Tom's defiance inspired her. She shared that Karen had selectively enforced rules, ignoring a board member's oversized holiday decorations while fining Maria for her flag. This pattern of selective enforcement, Jessica explained, could be a key argument in court, as it suggested discrimination and weakened the HOA's case. Maria agreed to join Tom's lawsuit, turning their fight into a broader challenge against the HOA's overreach. The courtroom showdown was electric. Karen, flanked by the HOA's attorney, Scott Silverman, argued that the flagpole violated the community's aesthetic standards and that the CC and RS gave the board broad authority to regulate structures. Jessica countered with the Freedom to Display the American Flag Act, presenting evidence that Tom's flagpole met all federal and Texas guidelines. She also introduced Maria's testimony, revealing the HOA's inconsistent enforcement. The judge, a no-nonsense veteran himself, wasn't impressed by Karen's excuses. "You don't get to cherry-pick which laws to follow," he said, his voice sharp. He pointed out that the HOA's failure to provide clear guidelines in the CC and RS about flagpoles, combined with their selective enforcement, violated both federal law and Texas Property Code Section 209.006, which requires HOAs to notify homeowners of violations and allow time to correct them before fining. The gavel fell hard. The judge ruled that the HOA's actions were unlawful, striking down their fines against Tom and Maria. But the real blow came when he fined the HOA $20,000 for violating federal law, citing their willful disregard for the freedom to display the American Flag Act. He also ordered them to pay Tom and Maria's legal fees, which amounted to another $15,000. Karen's face turned ashen as the ruling sank in. The HOA, already stretched thin by legal battles over minor disputes, was now on the hook for a hefty sum, and whispers of a recall election for Karen and the board began circulating among homeowners. The fallout was swift. Karen tried to spin the loss at the next HOA meeting, claiming the board had acted in good faith to protect property values. But the room wasn't buying it. Homeowners, emboldened by Tom and Maria's victory, began questioning other arbitrary rules, like bans on certain mailbox colors or restrictions on children's play equipment. Maria, now a vocal advocate, started a petition to amend the CC and RS to explicitly protect flag displays, gaining dozens of signatures overnight. Karen's influence crumbled as the community rallied behind a new vision of fairness. Within weeks, she resigned as president, citing personal reasons, though rumors swirled that the board had pressured her to step down to avoid further embarrassment. Tom's flagpole still stands, the stars and stripes waving proudly under the Texas sun. For him, the fight wasn't just about a flag, it was about standing up to petty tyranny and reminding his neighbors that rights are worth defending. Maria, too, found her voice, using her paralegal skills to help others navigate HOA disputes. Their victory sparked a quiet revolution in Willow Creek, with homeowners forming a committee to review and update the CC and RS, ensuring they align with state and federal laws. The $20,000 fine became a cautionary tale for HOAs across Texas, a reminder that overstepping legal boundaries comes with a cost. What do you think? Was Tom right to fight the HOA's rule, or should he have complied to keep the peace? Share your thoughts on where you stand in the battle between personal freedom and community rules.